Today we are doing on stage. We will keep the discussions going. On stage, we have discussed a little bit about opera, a little bit about Broadway musicals, a little bit about musical theater. But where do you get your inspiration from? What do we talk about? If you go about it, you will see that ultimately it comes down to life. Life is giving you the inspiration to write those characters, situations, time and place, about shades of characters and how you are portraying those characters, how while in writing, while in acting, while in performing. Now in cinema, we are using music, we are using dramaturgy, we are using drama, we are using um, the things we require for telling a story to give a performance. But in opera, many people call it high art. You need to practice a lot, you need to develop yourself, you need to practice a lot, and you need to work on your repertoire, you need to work on the performances you are doing, and it is of taste as well. And the performer is performing a lot and giving a lot, and instrumentation of the musical piece, composition, then conducting, then performing, the actors and actresses, stage direction, then whether you are staying static or you are moving, or the pacing and all these things, you have seen all these things. But when you are writing a libretto, you are writing those characters, musical ideas, themes, and melody, uh, and when the singer is singing, falsetto, bel canto, how the singer is singing, hitting the notes, and then the color palette. You are using the colors, emotions, music, colors. You have your specific color to contribute. Then you have something regarding the role, specific to that role or that performance. Maybe one role for that specific performance, you are doing it in a different way. And in another performance of the same role, you are doing it in a different way. Improvisation, you are going beyond what you have done, hitting higher notes and, bringing more drama, bringing more energy. You can do this in a lot of ways. So suppose you have 10 operas, but you never get bored out of it. Each time you are doing a production, you can bring something new to the production. You can choose different people who can play those roles. You can choose different people who can do the composition. The composition is already done, instrumentation is already done, orchestration, conducting, who is conducting, how they are conducting. Do you have anything specific to say regarding that performance? Producers can have a say, because we want the performance to be like that. People who are in that from the management point of view, management perspective, they are also bringing a lot, how they want to create that performance, how they want to do this production, and how they are choosing people, how they are doing casting, how they are adapting if they have to adapt. Classical adaptation we can do in the modern context, and we can learn from all these things. Broadway musical, then your opera, and what we can talk about. I will say that it should provoke more discussions in terms of the production, in terms of talks, so we can do a lot of discussions. And then the Italian opera we have talked about, the French opera, and what do you need to perform this role, to perform that role. You need to practice a lot, you need to understand, you need to practice, you need to put your effort, a lot of effort, to play these roles. These are not easy tasks that you suddenly you feel like humming and you're doing that. You do that because you love to do that. That is also part of the process. Even when you are a performer, you are doing all these things. But especially when you are a performer, you have a responsibility to give your best to the audience. And the audience is also giving you the energy. So you have a lot of communication, back and forth. And the audience, how they are changing with the drama, how they are changing with the narrative, how they are changing with the performances, what you are bringing in, and how they are reacting to it. So all these things are there. But a lot of classical elements, and then costumes, and how you are using makeup, hairstyle, costumes, to tell a narrative, to tell a story. And singers, musicians, production people, then not only the creative people but also people from management. They all are selecting this piece to perform. They are all selecting this particular opera because they have a knack or reason, or they want to tell the story of these characters, or the particular story. They can go for it. Sometimes you can write your own opera provided you are very serious about it, because it's a very serious thing, opera. And you need to uh, involve yourself a lot in this entire process. So you have to write the right musical ideas, then the dialogue or the singing. If you are going for musical theater, I am also keeping that in the entire on stage. But you have to choose all these things, and then how you are conveying those emotions. And the performers, the writers, the conductors, orchestrators, all these people are coming together to tell a story. And it is like synergy. When all these people are doing it together, it is like synergy. So something more than the writing itself, something more than the performance itself. And people will remember it for a long time. Some people are lucky enough to see that particular production. Nowadays we have the digital media, so we have bits and pieces of the production. This person is conducting this piece, this person is playing this piece, so we can get some idea from that, inspiration from that. But it is quite something to see an opera yourself. You go to that place and you have that communal experience, if I say so. Or you have your social circle, or you go to that place and you experience yourself what is on stage. And that's a big thing.